like in a caftan.
Crazy. Angelo Sriracha.
Yeah.
For
Animal Srirachas is
What
great.
did I do?
Sriracha
What did I
sauce.
say? Srirachas? He's
Srirachas.
gonna love that, right?
Oh my God.
But that's my cuteness. I'm not a comic, right? What do I know?
I don't
So
know.
is it Siracus? Suracus.
It's Sarukas.
Sarukas.
She's gonna.
I wouldn't know.
Sriracha
But
sauce.
anyway, he opened for Roseanne, and I went to see this
Wow.
show, and she cacked. Like, she ate it so hard, and he just murdered.
I was going to say, she can't follow him.
That
Nope.
wouldn't be good.
And
Wow.
Good
she
idea.
wouldn't speak to him.
Right.
She would not.
Really?
She's got to be careful with her opening act because she can't follow him.
Yeah, she wouldn't speak to him
Interesting.
afterwards.
She's also
Right.
intensely germophobic.
Oh.
Like she won't touch your hand.
She's one of those.
Maybe
This
that's
happened. This
all
ha-
it
that
was.
that same thing happened this year when Kate McKinnon came from SNL, and
Oh,
I
really?
won't say who, but someone blew her away.
Christina
Really?
Walken.
A local
Kohler did. Okay.
Kohler and Walken
Yeah. Well,
sauce.
Kate McKinnon, she's not a comic. She's
Right,
Like, they're
she's-
doing like, all right, here's a funny hat. Like,
Here's
What
a-
does Grace Helbig do? Does she
oh
do
fucking!
stand up?
She's
Like,
a
what-
YouTube
why is she
comedian.
on-
She makes adorkable faces in
Yeah.
front of her
Yeah.
fucking webcam. She's a piece of
She
shit.
started crying
But like
about
at
the
Just
whole
for
artwork.
Laughs, what did she do? Like, what's her act? Did she do-
She probably did a Q&A.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that Miranda
Wow.
Sings person too probably did like she did some funny songs and then a
At
Q&A.
Sony Center.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why not? They're
You're
fucking
getting. That's
stupid
just stealing.
kids.
That's just stealing.
Miranda Sings did a gig at Sony Center.
Yes.
Yes. Part of Just for
Miranda
Laughs
Sings
Festival.
is huge. Like,
I don't
she's
get that.
massive. Did you watch her on Comedians
It's
in
like-
Cars Getting It was awful.
Oh,
Like, it was
Because
so
Seinfeld's
painful.
daughters are into it because like
That's
just
right.
teenage girls. It's like all
That's
these
right.
YouTubers and God
She's
bless
Caillou
Nicole
for
Arbour
tweens.
because she's in her fucking
Yeah.
30s and she was
Caillou.
able to crack
Caillou
that
for
market.
teens.
Yeah.
That's right.
Accurate.
But, like no, it's like
I got some
virtual
one-liners here and there.
friends. That is the appeal of the YouTubers. Like it's just like these kids, like they subscribe to these people, and when you're talking about output, holy fuck, like they make at least a video a day. At least
Yeah.
a video a day. Like
Yeah.
the output is insane. Like
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
so I don't know how they would ever work
But-
a live act because I don't know where you'd find the time.
If you
But-
want to brand yourself online,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you've got to be putting out massive amounts of
Massive.
content. And
Right.
there are businesses that just write content and you buy content from them on
Really?
your top. So if you wanted to blog about comedy, I can assure you there's a company that has scads of data, just articles about stand-up comedy, about comedians, and you can just buy that content and put it on your blog because people can't keep up with the demand
That's
for
right.
content
No, they
every
can't.
single day.
That's right.
But a lot of these YouTubers, they'll just go on Periscope and they're like, okay, so I'm just making eggs this morning. I wanted to just take you guys through it. And like kids are like, oh my God.
But it's like a
That's so
thing because it's
amazing.
like there's this
Like your
bizarre like
Oh.
like thing where like it's like virtual friends. It's like I need to see what my friend is doing. Oh god, it's bizarre. I don't get it. But so also it is a young man's game. So that's Nicole like in her fucking 30s getting that. I'm like get it.
Yeah, I'm like, go for it.
Yeah, any,
Go for it.
And there, but by the grace of God,
any
go
way
you
that
if
you
you
can
get
do it.
fat because like
God
fuck.
bless.
Like if she gets some like thyroid or something and she gets fat, oh shit.
Well, here's the thing. So here's the thing, and I mean, we're recording this. I don't know if you guys are okay if we put this
I
on
don't
YouTube
care.
or maybe not. Okay.
I can always
So-
edit out stuff. that
Yeah,
we need
I
to-
just know because I want to do the post show. This is a post game show here. The Nicole Arbour thing. You guys are so gracious, and maybe because I'm a hack, I could say what I want. Good for her, yada yada yada. But if she was not a piece of tail, would that million fan base be there?
First off, just about Nicole. Yeah, no, we both know her, and I'm not unfriendly with her. I worked with her last year,
Okay.
actually, so that I've been kind of, I haven't
Mhm.
been, hitting her, in the cunt, like, sorry. Anyway, like, I haven't.
Yeah, you too.
I haven't been. Yeah, whatever.
I
but,
love that word.
sorry,
That's
yeah.
underused word, by the way.
Don't get me
But
started.
she, I think like about the sort of that she adopted the aesthetic of a blow up doll. Like,
Mhm.
no, I think that's actually that's a lightning rod. I mean, they're like Opie and Anthony like say way worse
Right.
like body shaming stuff than that. But like they're schlubby guys who no one gives a fuck about. But because she is like. She's got the target of extreme femaleness, like that. I think
That's
that
what.
everyone lynched her happily to be like this fucking slut.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
fuck, like it's calling people fat. Well, just like no, I can guarantee you if I just whatever like. So fat people, maybe you should like blah 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 blah. It would get 5 hits.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
but
Right.
like if I
She
that's-
is very
Right.
savvy. She's a good marketer.
Yeah,
She's
savvy,
a good self-promoter. And I
don't
will
know
say this,
savviness, but-
she is savvy in her own way. I mean, she has to be. She has like
Right.
Millions and millions and millions of views on Facebook alone. On YouTube, I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I think we have to give her some credit for that. I
Yes.
know her. She is the most tenacious person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, she does
She's had
not
to
give
be,
up
yeah.
at the expense of anybody. Family, friendships, like
Yeah,
So
screw
step
she's
on
all.
people?
she's burned every bridge
Every
possible.
bridge.
She's been written off so many times, and I think like again, it's like a jellyfish in the middle of like the toxic Pacific, just like breathing and eating garbage and regenerating limbs, and she's just
Regenerating limbs.
she's subsisted, and I think that's
Okay.
wonderful.
So what's funny, let's go back, because you guys said, you know what, good for her because she could do that. Let's go back to me, always. Early 90s, Laugh Resort, amateur night, right? Jim Vanderberg would book me in. Right? Remember Jim Vanderberg?
Sure.
But
He's been in
because-
the news.
Because, why?
Who's
Oh,
he?
no.
Oh yeah, you didn't
Like
know
Jared style in the
that?
news?
Jared style.
Oh,
in the news?
no!
You didn't know that?
No,
Oh,
Oh
He-
yeah,
he
Jimmy,
had a
Jimmy, Jim, old Jimbo's up the river by now.
Oh, dear me.
Right.
Oh yeah, this was like
was he
2
the,
years ago, last year?
Alexander Keith's guy?
like that.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh no, he had child luring.
Ah,
all that stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's too
He
bad.
had 6 different handles on his online emails, right? And some of them were trying to pretend to be 16-year-old girls and
Ah.
stuff. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that so funny. I'm sorry. Go on.
So anyway, his creep factor. So, anyway,
That's
so
so
he would book me in because I would come out. I was in early days of radio, so I'd come out with like 20, 30 people. And then I remember Tony Corolla was emceeing that night, and he said, well, here's a girl who's back again because she brings an audience, and it's the only reason she gets booked.
He still is
Nice.
charming.
Here she is, Sandra Carusi, and I'm like, oh,
Nice.
I'm going to be really funny now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
not a nice setup.
I almost, just went in the fetal position right there. But see, back then it was not okay. But now it's okay, right? We're okay if someone's a hack and happens to have a big following.
Well, no, if you bring people out, thank Christ thank God that there
Yeah.
are actual audience members there to laugh at
Yeah.
things. Are you
But it's
kidding me?
not
Like, if
hack.
anyone ever thinks, no, it's like,
You
if
gotta
I
be
ever
careful.
see people, no,
Yeah.
when, again, like with Laugh Sabbath or something, or like shows, if you're producing shows, my God, no, you always book those, like, green people. Like, hack and someone who's green,
Right.
big difference.
Okay,
And people who
good.
can
That's right.
actually
Yeah.
provide,
Topic.
like, they can supply audience members.
Steal that.
That crap! Oh my God!
And
yeah,
you gotta
no,
Yeah,
be
he
it's
should have
careful.
been down on his knees, just like licking your
Yeah.
toes for
It
that.
was an
And-
amateur night. Nobody went on Tuesday nights.
Right.
You know,
Plus,
and I'd
when you're
bring a bunch-
starting out in comedy, I mean, you need the confidence, like,
right?
and you only get it from your family and friends who are going to be kind enough to like laugh at your piddly
Yeah.
excuses
But-
for
Or
jokes.
they're like, ooh,
Well, and it's
she
also
does
and
it.
also just to that end, like you have a very narrow window of people being obliged to come and see you. Like that's
That's
what I always
right.
tell younger
That's
comics.
right.
I'm like, use that well.
Yeah.
Get them out to good shows where they're not going to have to like sit through insufferable people, so
Right.
that they, you can
In an
extend
atmosphere
that, for
that
as
they'll
long-
enjoy and
Yeah.
all that, so that maybe they'll come out again
Yeah,
next
yeah,
year,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And don't get the same people to come out,
to see your set
every
and
3
things
weeks
like
or something. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
So.
Use your
well,
head.
your
that's
numbers
exactly-
dwindle as
Right.
to how many people come to you.
And as you
years
age
after
too,
years.
and
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
only pull your rent-a-crowd out
Yes,
once in a while.
That's right.
Like if you
Right.
really need
That's
them.
like I couldn't now. Like my last album taping, like that was pulling teeth. Like getting like individually messaging people because fuck, I'm old as dust now. Everyone has jobs. Like
What's cool that I saw, well, you guys know this, nothing new to you, but Johnny Steele, he was in that Hot Docs Festival 3, it's still standing, with Will Durst
Mhm.
and Bubbles. These guys are San Francisco Bay comics. And he does these coffee house gigs, and he'll just promote it on social media. He'll get 80 people,
Mhm.
right? Charge $10-20. And then he just makes a living. Is that kind of the new style now, I guess?
Oh, it's one. That's certainly part of it.
Right?
I know lots of guys who do that.
Do their own
really,
gigs now, right?
Really
Look at
well.
Joanna
Everyone
Downey
needs to.
Yes.
and
needs to.
Spirits
Yes.
every Wednesday night. How many years did she run that room? And
That's
it's
not
still
a-
really.
that's not maybe the most prescient reference to make.
No, but like, how about the underground room
I-
at Queen and
yeah,
Broadview?
I would say the pot rooms.
the
that's
pot
where-
rooms
yeah.
where you can
It's a
like I
big
can get
culture.
that I can get that room for next to nothing. Or last time I did it, nothing. She
Mhm.
just said, "Yeah, you can have it." And I,
She'll take the
I
bar.
made a few $100.
Yeah.
And I'm no
Isn't that-
and I'm no social media guy. I suck at that. So just from her helping me and a few friends, and next thing you know, we pulled 75 people out, and everyone paid their $10, and
Why not? It's a night. You never used to be able to do that back in the day. It was either Yuck Yuck's amateur night or Laugh Resort amateur night.
The sort of the inception of like Toronto's independent stages.
Right.
Like that's a pretty recent phenomenon.
Like what the Bad Boys? Did I say that wrong again too? The theater.
Bad
Oh,
Dog, that's
Bad
been
Dog.
closed
Bad
for several years.
Is
now.
it?
Bad Dog.
But
Bad Dog.
Comedy Bar would be the
What?
hub
No,
now.
because Laura Sullivan's.
Oh,
doing
Bad
a show
Dog.
there.
Okay, that's
Bad
right.
Dog
Bad Dog
Theater's
when it was on the
open.
Danforth. I always forget. It's been reopened
Right.
at
Right.
yeah, Bloor and Ossington is like the comedy
Mhm.
mecca of the city because Comedy Bar is there. But that's been that's really big, the big boom.
Yeah.
But I remember speaking with Joanna Downey, and she started Spirits in what, 97?
Something like
Wow.
that.
And that was Toronto's first open mic, she said.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Yeah,
was
it was.
Toronto's first.
Yeah.
It was Yuck Yuck's amateur night, the Laugh Resort, I guess.
Mhm.
And then Spirits came along in 97 as the first weekly
Yeah.
open
Wow.
mic. That is yesterday.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is
Robin
yesterday.
Williams played Spirits.
Wow.
Yeah,
Had a
I
lot
remember
of
that.
people come out.
I saw a few of Joanna's shows there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
he jumped on a lot of mics and
Well,
Wow.
when we were starting, like at Yuck Yucks, when we were deemed pro, so for me that took like
Headliner.
not headliner, just pro. So you've gone from like
just not
amateur,
amateur.
Oh,
not
okay.
amateur to now
Yeah.
you can middle. You
Let's
just do
look at the
middle
glass
spots.
as half empty
Topic
as half
conversation,
full.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, we were reprimanded heavily if we tried to produce our own shows in the
Yeah.
city. We would get blacklisted. I got banned. I got pulled off a show in Peterborough because I agreed to do another show downtown at Second City. It was a stand-up show. And so I got pulled from a show in Peterborough and I lost money. And I did the show for a friend as a favor for free. So I didn't make any money off of it, but I just got pulled
They
from
used to
anything
be
just because
really-
I did
They
it.
clamped down.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's not like that at all anymore.
No, I know.
No,
why
they
you
can't
with social
control
media
it.
now.
They can't control it.
No, you
now.
can't control
Well,
it.
it's also fuck you, pay me. You
Right?
paying me? Well, then I'm gonna go and get it somewhere else. Yeah,
It's tough
so-
Right.
when you
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
working, and unless you get a big gig in the end, writing stuff to support yourself. When you're out on doing the club,
And
gigs.
those, like
There's not a
they're
million.
rarefied
No.
air. 22 minutes, 22 minutes, which I think is the entry level comedy writing job. No hires this year,
Right.
like none, and employs right now a staff of 7.
Is
3
that
of
all?
which are from home.
Right.
There are 4 actual.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
once you get in a room,
Because who writes?
No
on
one's
Mercer?
leaving?
well, once you get in a room, you better fucking find a way to get
Yeah.
your boots under that desk. And
Yeah.
Not like and
Yeah.
you
make
know.
yourself indispensable.
Who else
Yeah.
is on Mercer?
It's me and Chris Finn and Greg Eckler
Chris
and
Finn.
Rick Curry and George Westerholm
Okay.
and Rick.
Yeah. And it's been like that for like that.
Yeah, George joined us in season 4 or 5. Rick in season 7. It's been the same from Jump Street. Me and Chris were there from day 1. Eckler joined us in year 2, and like once you're in there, you just got to make sure you're indispensable, and you just got to make sure you stick enough things to the wall.
Mhm.
So it's sort of like the first while you're just 24/7, and now in season 13 we work more as a team than we ever did.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got a groove on.
Initially, you piss out your own territory, but then over time, you become a team. And now there's obviously we're a team. Like we've all been the same group for so long, and it's the show has sort of defined itself so well that we know what to do in a certain way. It's intimidating that every week we start with a blank page. But,
Yeah, that's
but
nice.
but the news sort of makes itself.
One
But,
thing.
yeah, sorry.
No,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm just saying, but yeah, like in terms of like if this was the States, you would have no shortage of places to send packets.
Right.
Literally, there is nowhere to send packets. Like
Yeah.
friends I know who make I'm fortunate enough to eke out a living doing live comedy, and a big a part of that has been the sound exchange royalties
Mhm.
from having your stuff played on Sirius XM. That has been a big.
Oh, cool.
That has been the big.
Helper.
Yeah, huge for so many comics. But any comics that I know who do make most of their living writing, and a lot of them are alt comics, they write on shitty fucking kid shows. That seems to be many of which I'm
Yeah.
sure are produced out of this.
Yeah,
company.
DMX. I mean, you go take a meeting at DMX, and they've got fucking 25 platforms and 500 shows.
Yeah.
I met a woman just for laughs at one of the comedy programming panels they had. She was in the audience with me, and she actually has a production company for kids' shows, and she was hunting out comedians to write for it. So there you go.
Yeah.
And she said, "Do you know any?" And I referred, some people that I kind of knew from here. She's from Montreal.
Fuck, can you
But-
please refer me next time?
Yeah.
I can never fucking get a referral with these people.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so who you know with
It
that
is.
shit too.
You know what?
Totally,
You know?
totally.
It is.
Oh.
They don't know where to start. So here we are in the chorus building. We
Yeah.
have all our TV stuff here, right? And they're, you know, being even me getting back into comedy, getting to know all the comics again and everything, like from way back when, I have to rely on comics to introduce me to comics to
Sure.
get to know more comics.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So if you're a producer on a game show or a TV show, you got to start somewhere with the. If you get a packet, how do you differentiate between 50 packets?
It's really hard.
Well, here's the thing. I think from my past experience, like being on a series for like 8 years, and the producers scouting new talent
Oh,
was
God.
all like, who do you know would be good? And I would say, go out and watch comedy.
Yeah.
That's how you found me.
That's
I
right.
mean, you found me
Right.
from performing live, and
That's
you liked my spiel, and that's why I'm here, and I've proven myself.
I remember like a bunch of producers would come to Bitch Salad because we're talking about video trial now,
Yeah.
and I think that they booked like 2 girls because they'd always be
Right.
like, I don't know if she'd work. Her best bit was longer, and I'm just like, people can write when you
Right.
give them guidelines anyway. But
People don't know what they're looking at with comedy.
But especially with those
Right.
most people,
That's right.
most people come out to comedy and they might as well be watching somebody do a giant math equation on the board
Yes.
for all they fucking understand
Yeah.
of what
Right.
they're looking at, right?
Right.
So picking talent is difficult because you don't know what the fuck you're looking at.
That's right.
That's why the festivals more and more are being booked by comics,
That's right.
old retired comics who have beaten the boards and they know what they're watching.
Okay, but how much of that then? Let's just talk because I'm going to end up doing a show on this whole thing. How much of that is the comic tribe buddy system thing?
What do you mean?
So,
Yeah, I
well,
know what you
because
mean.
you know what I mean. There is
Yeah.
a tri- there is a.
Oh
How
my
many
God! Well, hi,
dudes
Tom,
are
we're-
bringing on all their
Don't-
friends?
Right.
To
It's
these
comedy
shows?
cliques.
Don't put this on. You were talking about Tony Crollo.
Cut this out,
So
yeah.
just
Okay.
off the